to Media Evaluation! Question number 1. How did you use media technologies in the construction and research planning and evaluation stages? Through the construction process, I used media technologies such as a tripod and a camera, but then when I was editing the pieces together, I used software such as iMovie and Photoshop, which enabled me to edit things that I wouldn't necessarily have been able to capture, such as the contrast or the timings of a clip, or with the ancillary text like the contrast and brightness of a picture, its size, all the different things that can be edited on Photoshop, which can be as simple or as complicated as you like, really. When I was completing the research part of the coursework, Google was like a godsend. All the information that you can get on the internet is just amazing. Internet Movie Database, Empire Magazine Online, Facebook, Twitter, Blogger, Tumblr. They just open so many gates. You can find out literally anything you want to know. So when you're looking for stuff like examples of trailers, how people interpret them, the different things that go into making a trailer, or the different elements that should be on a magazine cover, should be on a poster, you can see what other people are saying about them too, to see sort of what yours should look like, and then you can sort of compile your own, sort of makes your work a bit better. You can go to iTunes and see what sort of films in the horror genre have used, and think, oh okay, well they all have a similar sounding effect, so maybe I should go and look for something that sounds like that. Without the ever-evolving media technology that is the internet, I wouldn't have been able to do the research part of my coursework as well as I did. It cropped up things that I didn't even know existed and highlighted pivotal points that needed to be highlighted in the research aspect. When I was planning my piece, I think that media technologies such as Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint enabled me to really organise what I wanted to do, like shooting scripts, location recce, stuff like that. It meant that I could organise things in a simple way, break it down, make sure I had everything covered. Then, once again, the internet with sites like Facebook and SurveyMonkey meant that I could get feedback on my ideas, sort of if people thought they were good, if they thought they were bad, what I could change, what could be added, really. Yet again, the internet proves to be a very helpful tool when it comes to media technologies, even in the evaluation part. Right now I'm coming to you through the medium of YouTube. Ooh. It means that you can make your evaluation in a more creative way, rather than using things such as PowerPoint or Word or just continuous prose. You can be more creative about it, make a film, make a podcast. Question number 2. What have you learned from audience feedback? I think that audience feedback is the most important thing when it comes to making something. Like, personally, you might like something, but to other people it might just not be accessible. There's no point in making something if the people you're making it for do not like it. Things like Twitter, Facebook, SurveyMonkey, they're all great things to use, and they're so simple. Look. Hey guys, do you think you could check out my coursework film trailer and tell me what you think? They're just such simple, easy ways to collect information on how to improve your work and what you should include. It couldn't be simpler. And ultimately, it's going to be better in the long run because you're going to find out what people want to see, what's going to make it accessible to them, and it's going to make your coursework a whole lot better. Question number 3. How effective is the combination of your main product and auxiliary text? I tried to create a link through the main product and the 2 ancillary texts by using the same font in all 3 things, and the last frame in the movie trailer is actually quite similar to the main image used on the magazine cover. I think that it's important that they're all sort of interwoven together, because then it's easy for them to become a combination and you can sort of link them all. For example, all the stills and all of the filming that went on all happened at the same time, so that it was easier to link the things together. All of the still shots were shot on the same day that all of the filming took place, so that there wouldn't be any continuity errors, that everything would be linked together. When I've asked people what they think, they said that it's clear that they all link together and they all promote the same film. There isn't any differentiation between them. You can clearly tell that all 3 things are linked to the same franchise, which I guess is good because it shows that the two ancillary texts do support the main product. Fourth and finally, in what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? I think that the main media product itself, the trailer, does use the real life conventions that a real trailer would use. It does conform to Vitex Triangle. At the beginning we do see this state of equilibrium that Megan's in, and then it does descend into chaos with the short, rapid scenes. I think that my magazine cover ancillary text does conform to the usual conventions of a magazine cover. When I was creating it, I did try and always have a magazine with me to sort of see what I needed to include, sort of like the masthead, the main image, a banner, sort of supporting stories, stuff like that, to just really reinforce what needed to be on my product. And finally, the film poster ancillary text. I think this is the only one out of the three that really chooses to challenge conventions of real media products. Rather than having the main title of the film in the centre of the poster, I chose to have it aligned to the right. This was because the main picture, which I had on the first horizontal third, was quite big and took up most of the space, and I really wanted you to be able to see that picture, and the title just got in the way. So rather than having an overcrowded centre, I thought, okay, this is a chance to be inventive, sort of reinvent things. I thought I could align it to the right and see what people thought of that, and when I showed them, they thought that it looked quite good. I also chose to include things you would see on a normal film poster, such as a billing block including directors, actors, producers, soundtrack, reviews with stars from magazines such as Empire and Total Film that are usually associated with film reviews, and I even created my own little logo to put in the corner of my poster to say that it was a Bliss Company production, and it also starred at the beginning of my trailer as well, which I thought linked the two things together quite nicely.